What's up, my friends? Arar here from Beyond the Rant. This is my channel, and I am my Instagram is American Guru. Okay, so we're talking about what's going on here. You know, this is my first live video that I've done in a long time. The last time I did a live YouTube stream video was when I was in Moldova back in September of 2017. Moldova, a small little country outside of it's in Eastern Europe, between Ukraine and Romania. Awesome place. My wife is from there, and wow. One second. And I was just reflecting back on that time where I said to myself, you know what, I can't go back to that old life before knowing what I know now. You know, even back then, you know, two and a half years ago, I started on a journey like many of you have. And that was a journey of self-reflection, a journey of finding yourself. And sometimes, in order to find yourself, you have to get lost. You have to get lost, you know, and you find yourself. You just do, because you grow as a person, you know. But before I get to that point, I wanted to just kind of reflect on my personal experience. You know, I said to myself, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I don't want my sense of stability or security to be given away to a corporation or to somebody else and making them money. And what is it that some people have that others don't? You know, it's a lot of things. People say, well, because they made it because of their parents, they made it because of this, they made it because of that. Yes, people do. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about ourselves. You know, the number one thing I had to do in this journey, the number one humbling experience that everyone has to realize, when they believe in, you know, they believe in other dimensions. They believe that there's more to life than what we've been told. They believe, you know, in symbology. I mean, they understand it. You know, they understand the Hermetic principles. They understand the vibrational and frequency and energy. You know, we understand the light and refracting light and harnessing energy from, you know, the fire element or the air element. You know, we know these things. But before you know those things, you have to come to a point in your life where you have to destroy your old self. You have to destroy the old idea of you. And you have to look at your life in the past and say, you know what? It's not my dad's fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not this person's fault. Ultimately, it's me that was holding myself back. You know, you have to own it. You have to own the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, you have to own everything. Because before you have humbled yourself into realizing it's your fault, if it was your dad's fault, or if it was you know, the government's fault, then you always are looking to them for the solution. Because the solution lies with them if it's their fault, right? If they broke it, they have to fix it. You know, that's the mentality. But they're never going to fix it because they have their own set of programming that's keeping them in a low vibration. Just like you, it's a loop. You know, and when you finally realize it's your fault, you know, your actions that cause a reaction, you know, your cause that had an effect. I guess you can call it karma even, you know, but karma is not what we think it is. Karma is cause and effect. You know, so you have to realize that, and that's part of the growth. Once you realize that, then you know, okay, the solution is within. The solution isn't from the medical. You know, the solution for your health is not in the hands of the medical industry. You know, look at the condition of people that have put their health in the healthcare system. Look, their health is not good. You know, the education, to be educated is not, you don't get education just by school. See, people get a degree and they have one degree of knowledge now, and now they think they're educated. They never educate themselves, see, because they have been told. So we realize this. If you're on this path, you're realizing this, and it's tough because everyone around you, loved ones around you, aren't on the same path as you. They're maybe a lower dimension. They're living in a lower reality. You know, you don't see things as polarity, as good or bad, or Republican or Democrat. You don't get sucked into the polarity of it, because you go in there as a outside observer, just observing it and actually reading the signs in it and creating it and knowing that you created these things. You know, that's when you get the, you know, God or source or energy, whatever you want to call it, the higher self. It doesn't speak to us in English, you know. It speaks to us in vibration and frequency and numbers and colors and feeling states. Because everything is vibration. Vibration has a number to it. So if you see certain number sequences, they mean certain things, you know. Like if you see a lot of 333, you know, threes, then that means that, you know, you should be tuned in to your awareness, you know. But how can you be really aware if you have a bad diet, for example? If you have a bad diet and you have poor health, you can't get aware because you're too tied up, and the body's too tied up to keeping itself, you know, at a functioning state. You know, depleted state, always taking out calcium from the bones, always, you know, making the insulin rise in your blood, and always releasing cortisol, you know, and your inflammation always happening. The body's fighting itself and the diseases that we've caused ourselves. How can you be aware of higher awarenesses when your body's at a very low awareness level? So the number one thing in this process is your body, health. Go back to don't eat anything from that's sold in a cardboard box. You know, that's a rule. You know, don't eat anything that is colorful and has advertisements on it. Because what are you buying? Are you buying it because of it's your favorite cartoon characters on it since you were a kid, you know? Or are you buying it because that's what your body needs? Your body's a temple that holds in that divine spark, that soul. It houses that soul. That's your body. And everybody has their own body that they're given with, but no one's given with big bones. You know, there's no such thing as big bones. They're stocky, that, this and that, yes, but your body houses your soul. You pick that body. Your soul picked that body. And there's a purpose to you. There's a purpose for you, your life. You know, you have to know this. And this is the process. It's the process of knowing thyself. It's a process of losing that arrogance, the jealousy, anger, and attachment, but also be attached. You know, my intent is to spread this knowledge out there and travel and to speak to people in different countries, you know, and spread my knowledge, you know, as a guide. You know, that's my intent. And my desire is to witness the amazing, you know, ancient sites, you know, to partake in ancient festivals, to partake in high vibration clothing when I buy it. I don't want to buy clothing made in a sweatshop. I want to buy clothing that was designed by a designer with his passion or her passion going to that clothing or that design, you know, that logo, whatever. And that's something a lot of people on this path, you know, they throw away the material. It's like, no, you have to. I mean, it's up to you. You know what? You don't have to do anything, but I want a taste of this paradise too. You know? Why do we don't have to suffer. You choose to suffer. Maybe you have to learn from that experience of that suffering. And the way you learn from that suffering is don't live in the suffering. Be in gratitude. Always be aware that it could be a lot worse. So be grateful for your car. It could be a lot where you can have no car. Be grateful for everything you have. Once you're grateful in your state of gratitude and your awareness is higher because you're eating better foods and you're not listening to garbage shit, you're not around friends that are, bad influence on you, you're not doing your old, restrictive, scared self stuff anymore. And now you're expanding, you're unlearning the things that kept you tied down. And once you do that, you realize that, you know what? You are a co-creator of this reality, because it's really magic, It's really magic. You harness energies. You get energy from inside you. You don't need pre-workout drink anymore, because when you take that energy in, but it harms your body too. Yeah, sure, it gives you that rush, right? For 2 hours or 3 hours, and that focus at the gym. And a lot of times people that take it, they're not professional. They're not professional athletes, and they're taking professional athlete stuff. That stuff is for serious freaking athletes. When you go in and you take that pre-workout stuff, you better have a clean diet that replenishes your gut bacteria. You better understand macro and macronutrients, and you better understand cortisol, and you better understand the hormones and all that stuff. If you're serious, you know that. And if you're professional, you know that. That stuff is professional stuff sold to, kids, and you see people replacing their personal energy, and you give it to something else outside of you. Now, you're like, oh well, it's energy. You can have green tea, you can have coffee. That's not going to mess your gut bacteria up. Black coffee, it's awesome. It's 100 grams of caffeine. That's what these pre-workouts have. A bunch of caffeine, and then other things that like sucralose and all these fake sugars that kill your gut bacteria and raise your insulin, but they don't give you that satisfaction of sugar. It doesn't burn the calories. It's no calories in it. It doesn't have the calorie burn. It's like it just fucks you up. I'm sorry for my language. Actually, whatever. It's not good for you. What I'm saying is, if you use it like a professional. Why would you take it? Why would you even do anything in your life that doesn't benefit you? It doesn't have to be in a selfish way where you're like a arrogant person that thinks, uses people. No, when you do it for your soul purpose, and you do it so you can, become a stronger person to hold higher vibrational energy in your reality, be it your body or your garage, then that thing will be attracted to you, and you'll get it by your intent. Your intent will fulfill your desire. See, my intent is to spread my guidance, my experience in life, and as all kinds of different careers in my life, into saying, you know what, I had it with the system. I want to go out on my own, and I'm going to believe in myself, even though no one freaking does. I'm going to lose, 20% body fat. I'm going to do all that stuff. I'm going to become somebody that I always wanted to follow, become it. And everybody has that potential, and it's fear. You can't, it's not about facing your fear. Everybody faces their fear. It's about going through your fear and not going through it scared still. You go through it and you realize, wow, it's actually me, that fear is inside you. It's not outside of you. You just fear it because it's fear. It's like people fear looking at their bank, account. See, the thing is, you should be attached and detached with this world, If you want to fly first class, you have to have money for it. And all money is currency. Money is currency. Currency needs current. Where does that get that current from? It gets it from you. You are the source of the current. So you up your battery capacity,
watch out, you can hit yourself.
And you're going to have more current. And people want that current, and they're going to give you currency for it. See, that's what it is. Literally, it's like the Matrix, you know. I was going to say wish you luck out there, but you know, you create your own luck. Luck to other people that aren't in control of their reality, that's luck. But people that are in control of their reality, it's opportunity that you created. You know, you make yourself into a high energy person. People want you for something, to give them energy, to give their corporation, their corpse, energy. So they're going to be like, okay, my corpse needs energy. Where's it going to get it from? It's going to get it from this person. It's going to get it from that. It's going to get it from this, you know? So it's literally energy. That's what money is. It's a representation of your energy. And you know what? My energy isn't worth $100,000 a year. My energy is limitless. And I'm not going to settle for what society deems as a normal existence. So keep on doing what you're doing. You know, you find your own light in your own darkness. All right? And people realize that in your darkness is your individual light. So in that darkness is your light, because darkness is all light. It's not void of light. Darkness is all light combined. That's darkness. Now, right now it's light. It's lit. See? It's the light of the sun. This is one source of light lighting this reality right now. In the darkness, when you meditate, you find yourself. You find your own light. See? When somebody is telling you, oh, this is you, oh, this is what your soul's supposed, this is your soul, we have to work for the soul, and this and that, you know, that's not your light. That's somebody else's light. You know, we can have, but as long as you know your source light, your own light, you can attach different light, different information to build your reality. You know, if I want a reality of travel and this and that, there's certain lights, there's certain energy that I have to attract, that I have to become to in a feeling state of the vibration of that, what I want to be, you know? If I don't want to be, if you're depressed, you're in a low state of vibration. You're thinking about low thoughts, heavy thoughts that keep you tied down to the past or to some event, you know, to some fear. And this is water. You know, 80% of us, I mean, you know, let's 76% of us is water. And water is water. You know, we are energy. And water is energy too. And you know, things in water travel at a further distance, you know. If your water is polluted that you drink, it's going to affect your body, because your water is like it is life, you know. As you flush your organs, there's toxicity that builds up, sweating, you know. You need water it's like the lubricant of the system, you know. And blood is like, all blood is water with a bunch of different energies, you know, flowing around, going to the different organs, feeding it. You know, we don't get blood from outside of us. We produce red blood cells and white blood cells and all these different things, cholesterol, all this stuff in the blood. But water is pure, you know, fluoride free. And it'll transform your life. Do this. Stop drinking everything else. Just stop drinking everything else. Get a gallon of water. Drink a gallon of water a day. Do it for a week. I promise you, you'll feel like a new person. And you'll just do that. Just put some lemon in the freaking water. Put some organic lemon in the water. Put some, you know, cucumber in the water, and you have a refreshing water drink that you can drink all day. It's going to be so good for you. Do it for a week. Do it for 3 days. I mean, do that for yourself. Do that for yourself. because you owe it to yourself. Unless you want to stay the way you are. Hey, you know what? If you want to be where you are, you love your life, you're not stressed out, you know, or you like it, you know, you're a sadist, you like being the victim all the time, then hey, whatever, it's not going to resonate with you. But if you do want to, and you don't know where to start, and you just don't know what to do, and just giving up, you know, drink water. Get some purified water, drink it, drink a gallon a day. And don't drink any soda or any juice, or but juice is good for you. Oh, but tea, yeah, tea, you can have tea, but no sugar, no nothing in it. Tea, water, that's it. Do that for a week, and I promise you, the energy does not lie. If you put that energy in and not that other energy in, you can't be like, I was drinking water, I didn't drink a gallon a day for a week, but nothing happened. You're lying. Lying. And you know, the results don't lie. You know, and this is like, don't eat extra salty stuff. I'm saying just eat normally, but don't change anything, but just drink water, and you'll see that you can replace certain things with higher vibrational things, you know. So instead of, you know, French fries, you know, instead of frying the French fries, you can bake sweet potatoes, you know, or you can bake French fries, but make them like half, you know, those little teeny potato things, wedges, like cut that in half and get artesian potatoes, you know, like more high energy, you know, like purple, deep purple ones, you know, and like yellow ones and like different colored ones, you know, small ones, and cut them in half and put some salt on them and put some garlic on it and bake it in the oven for like 40 minutes, you know, with some olive oil on it, you know, instead of eating, you know, deep fried pre-packaged fries that you bake. See, you replace one thing for something better, and it satisfies you and it's better for you. It's just the name of the game is replace and limit. You gotta eat less of it, but replace it with something better too. All right, I talked to like 22 minutes. I just want to talk real quick because I was about to go to the cafe to do some research and for some projects I'm doing, but there's no excuse for you to create a reality. Seriously. I mean, people say, I don't have time, and oh, you know, you work all day. You know, I was working all day. I went to the gym even earlier. I'm gonna be here till like 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go home for an hour. I'm gonna go back to the gym for another 2 hours, do a bunch of cardio and like more core exercises. And it's like, I don't take pre-workout. I eat once after I come back from the gym, you know, like I had like maybe 500 calories, 600 calories, but you know, I had like broccoli and some beans, you know, things like that, and I'm not tired at all, you know. I'm not tired, feel great, and I'm hydrating myself, and it's not true. We don't need our energy from anything else except us and our thought, our purpose, our purpose alone. Your purpose alone can drive you, because you understand this reality now. You see it. You just keep on going on that path. Keep on learning. Keep on learning about vibration. Keep on learning about you know, how to grasp it. Keep on learning about the angels and the different energies you can harness. And different teachings, Gnosticism, you have Vedic system, you have the Sufi system. They're all the same, but told from a different culture's point of view. And they all lead to the same source. You know, learn about energy work, you know, and utilize that all day. I mean, even when I'm sitting down, I'm doing energy work. You know, even when I'm at the gym, of course, especially when I'm at the gym, that's when I'm doing yoga and energy work and lifting at the same time, all three together. You know, like holding a 10-pound barbell or 15 pounds just like this for, you know, 33 seconds at a time, up to 3 minutes, you know, or doing like, you know, 111 leg kicks, you know, 3 sets of them, you know, or 5 sets of, you know, it's all numerology, you know, numbers. Because, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna be on live once in a while, you know, and it's kind of talking about how to be the alchemist every day. You know, this is not a 1 hour. You listen to a lecture and you think about it all day long and you go about your life. No, this is, you have to put it in practice. You have to put it in practice every single moment. Otherwise, by default, you'll fall back asleep. You'll fall back asleep. That's why you have to always be aware, constantly looking at the symbology, constantly looking at the numbers, constantly being in this. And it's like a game, you know? It's like, imagine a game. Imagine if you understand what that is and you're harnessing all that energy, because you know it's going to come back to you. In any way you can sell that energy, you can give that energy to somebody else, right? And they'll pay you for it. But there's nothing wrong with that, you know? I'm not going to give it for free because it's been a very lifelong experience. But also, when you charge somebody for this kind of information, it's like an initiation. Like, are you willing to sacrifice a latte every morning for a week, you know, for 3 months to obtain this knowledge, you know? Are you willing to sacrifice every Friday night to pay for this? Instead of going to the bar and spending the money on the bar, you spend it on some knowledge, you know? It's like initiation. And you'll take it more seriously if you pay for it. But in this society, even the personal development and life coaching that don't even talk about what I'm talking about. They just talk about the, you know, they talk about it in a more scientific way, where it's like it explains the unknown through terminology that that it's like, oh well, the subconscious has a mechanism with this dopamine response because of this, you know, you're eating this food which releases this hormone, and you have abundance of this of cortisol in your system, and when this stress happens and this gets released, then all the sugar in your blood gets turned into fat, you know? That's the left brain approach to that information about energy and about vibration and about, you know, about the body, you know, about magic. Seriously, it's just, you know, some people need that, and but that's not the only knowledge out there. That's just one way of looking at it, and that's I'm trying to go back more into something that's all within us. When you go in your own darkness on your own, and you have a guide that explains to you, like, okay, this is how you look at numbers, this is how you do, you know, energy work, this is why the moon is, this is why this is important, this is why, you know, this is what this means, this is why it's important to, you know, make a pact with the shadow self of yours, you know, you feed it its desire, but in a higher vibration. You know, for example, a married person, you know, that has that has outside affairs, you know, and that desire comes from like sexual urge, you know, maybe he's not having sex with his wife, you know, and he's cheating on her, but it's like he's feeding that lower demon of his, you know, that raw energy, sex of doing all that stuff. But then you can still feed your shadow self, the energy of sex, but you can do it with your wife in a lawful way, right? In a way that's consensual, that both are on the same wavelength. But in order to do that, you have to make yourself into a higher vibrational energy that houses that high vibration, because you can't have a low vibration and a high vibration in the same time. That causes friction, and it causes chaos in your life. That's why it's happening in the first place, because, you know, you're committing a sin, and you're doing something that's feeding your lower desire, but it's in your deep inside your mind, you're like, I'm going to hell for it, you know. So you're always like, it's like a self realizing a thought that manifests because you think about it so much, you're in that low state so much that you basically, your subconscious creates it for you, just to make it true, because that's how you're thinking. But anyways, just keep on going. When you go on the path appears, you know. It's an awesome experience. It's difficult because you're always outside your comfort zone. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone, never inside of it. So realize that. You have to shed your skin all the time. That don't get too comfortable with that skin, because you won't grow. And if you do that, that skin will start rotting, you know, it'll start smelling. So always be in constant growth. And you'll love it, because it's like, wow, because you grow to a higher state all the time. And it's never ending. All right, peace.